You know, there are a lot of people who teach their children to be ashamed of their bodies. Some teach their kids that sex is a dirty thing, and they condition their children to feel guilty about having sexual desires. Kids who are brought up in a sexually repressive environment tend to grow into self-conscious, frustrated and guilt-ridden adults. There are some nasty side effects of sexual repression, including things like low self-esteem, depression, suicidal tendencies, increased aggressive behaviour. Sexual repression can lead to obsessive compulsive idealizations, and this can be the cause of many different behavioural abnormalities. Sigmund Freud taught that sexual repression was the chief psychological problem of mankind, and he believed that sexual repression was rampant, unhealthy, and the indirect cause of much crime, illness and woe. I think he was right. It can't be helpful to society where you've got these various religious groups teaching youngsters that sex outside of marriage is wrong. Some religious groups say any kind of sexual expression outside of marriage is sinful, and they drum this idea into the heads of their followers. That's the opposite of helpful, actually. It's harmful, no doubt in my mind. Is sexual abuse more common in sexually repressive cultures, in an environment where sex is seen as taboo and where the sexual needs of people are somehow restricted or repressed? Isn't this likely to cause frustration and anger? I mean, people have sexual needs. If they can't express those needs in a healthy way, if society denies healthy sexual expression, then won't people end up satisfying their desires in unhealthy ways, taking out their frustrations on the vulnerable, perhaps? Sexual desire is nothing to be ashamed of. Sexual pleasure is not immoral. Sex shouldn't be a taboo subject. It shouldn't be something that people feel they can only talk about behind closed doors in hushed tones, you know? Sexuality must be discussed. It's a massive part of who we are and what we are. Prudish and uptight people need to be challenged, I say. Their conservative views should be challenged and rightly criticised. There are plenty of moralistic control freaks and narrow, backwards institutions in this world who seem to think they have a God-given right to dictate sexual morals to the rest of us. And more than a few people are still willing to listen and obey, unfortunately. Human beings are sexual beings, and being sexual doesn't make you unclean or inherently sinful. Sexual desire is good. We wouldn't be here if there wasn't sexual desire. Sex can be wonderful. The best thing in the world, in fact. So don't let the religious reptiles convince you otherwise. Anyway, have a lovely day, folks, and I will catch you later. Peace.